Rank 1 Helot. You are not a Spartan. You are their property. You were born a Helot, a slave of the state. Your parents were slaves. Their parents were slaves. You work the fields from sunrise to sunset, growing food you'll never eat. Every harvest, the Spartans take what they want. What's left is barely enough to keep you alive. You have no rights, no name worth remembering, no future worth imagining. Once a year, the Spartans declare war on you, legally, so that killing you isn't murder, it's practice. Young Spartan warriors hunt you at night, for sport, for training, for fun. You sleep with one eye open. You walk with your head down. You speak only when spoken to. If you're strong enough to be dangerous, they kill you first. Strength in a Helot is a death sentence. This is rank 1. You exist to feed a machine that would erase you without a second thought. Rank 2 Mothax. You're not fully Spartan, but you're not fully a slave either. Your father was a Spartiate. Your mother was a Helot. You are the product of a union that Sparta pretends doesn't exist. But a wealthy Spartan took pity on you, or maybe saw potential. He sponsored your entry into the Agoge, the same training, the same pain, the same starvation, but none of the same respect. The other boys know what you are, half-blood, bastard, not one of them. You fight harder than anyone, not for glory, for survival. Because if you fail, you go back to the fields. You'll never own land, you'll never vote, you'll never be a true citizen, but you can fight. And in Sparta, fighting is the only currency that almost buys you dignity. This is rank 2. You're in the system, but the system will never let you forget where you came from. Rank 3, Agoge Boy. You're 7 years old, and today your mother cries for the last time. The state takes you, not your father's decision, not your mother's, Sparta's. They throw you into the Agoge. 200 boys, 1 barracks, no beds, no shoes, 1 thin cloak for the entire year. You eat once a day, and it's never enough. They want you hungry. Hungry boys learn to steal. Stealing food is encouraged. Getting caught is punished, not for stealing, for being stupid enough to get caught. A boy got caught stealing a fox. He hid it under his cloak. The fox tore his stomach open. He said nothing. He died in silence. That's the standard. Die before you show weakness. They beat you at random to teach you one thing. Pain is information, not an emergency. The older boys are your enemies. The instructors are worse. Nobody is your friend. At night, you sleep on reeds you cut yourself from the riverbank with your bare hands. In winter, you haven't seen your mother in years. You barely remember her face. This is rank 3. You're not being raised, you're being forged, and the fire never stops. Rank 4 Eiren. You're 18 now. You survived the Agoge. Barely. They promote you to Eiren, a senior trainee. Now you're the one who beats the younger boys. Not because you're cruel, because Sparta demands it. Weakness must be found and burned out. You lead a unit of boys. You're responsible for their training, their discipline, their pain. If they fail, you're punished. If they cry, you're punished. If they're not tough enough, it's your fault. You start learning tactics, not just how to fight, but how to think, where to position, when to retreat, when retreat means death. The Cryptea watches you, the secret police. If you're exceptional, they choose you for something darker. They send you into the countryside alone. At night, no weapons, no food. One mission: kill a Helot without being seen. You do it, not because you want to, because refusing means you're not Spartan enough. Your hands shake after, but only in the dark where nobody can see. This is rank 4. You're becoming what Sparta needs, but you're losing what makes you human. Rank 5, Spartan Hoplite. 20 years old. The Agoge is over. You survived what 90% couldn't. You're a Spartiate now, a full citizen, a Spartan Hoplite. They give you your shield, a bronze-covered circle heavier than anything you've carried. The lambda of Lacedaemon stamped on the front. Your mother's last words as you march to war. Come back with your shield, or on it. There is no option C. You join a Syssitia, a mess hall. 15 men who eat together, train together, bleed together, and die together. They are your brothers now, not by blood, by something deeper, by shared suffering. You stand in the phalanx, shoulder to shoulder, shield overlapping shield, a wall of bronze and flesh. The man on your left depends on your shield. The man on your right depends on your spear. Drop either and men die. You push forward as one body. The phalanx doesn't break. If it breaks, everyone dies. The sound of a phalanx clash is something you never forget. Metal on metal, bone on wood, screaming from both sides. This is rank 5. You're finally what Sparta built you to be. A killing machine with a code. Rank 6 Hippeis. 300 men, the best Sparta has, selected by the Ephors themselves. You are Hippeis, the royal guard, the elite of the elite. Despite the name, you don't ride horses. You fight on foot, always, because Spartans don't need horses to be faster than death. Your only job is to protect the king. In battle, you surround him. A wall of the 300 best warriors alive. Thermopylae, you've heard the story. 300 Spartans against 1,000,000 Persians. Those 300, they were Hippeis, every single one. Leonidas chose men who had living sons, because he knew none of them were coming back. They held the pass for 3 days. Not because they could win, because dying well was the whole point. When the arrows blotted out the sun, one Spartan said, "Good, then we shall fight in the shade." You don't fear death. You've been training for death since you were 7. Death is just the final exam. This is rank 6. You exist for one purpose, to stand where no one else will, and hold. Rank 7, Enomotarch. You command an Enomotia, 36 men. Your unit is a family, not the kind that loves each other gently, the kind that would die for each other violently. In the phalanx, your Enomotia must move as one brain. Forward, back, wheel left, wheel right, without breaking formation, without hesitation. You drill them until the movements are automatic, until they can form a battle line in the dark, in the rain, half asleep, wounded. Before battle, you inspect every shield, every spear, every greave. One loose strap means one dead Spartan. You decide the formation depth. 8 ranks? 12? The wrong choice. Puts your men in graves. The men trust you completely. Not because you earned it with kindness, because you earned it with competence. After the battle, you count heads. 36 left, 36 returned. The only math that matters. But some days, the math doesn't work, and you carry those missing numbers forever. This is rank 7. You're not just a warrior anymore. You're a father of killers. Rank 8, Pentekoster. You command a Pentekostis, 144 Spartans. 4 Enomotiae answer to you. 4 commanders who each carry their own weight of responsibility. Your decisions don't affect dozens anymore. They affect 144 families. You coordinate with other Pentekosters to form the larger battle plan. The phalanx is a machine, and your unit is one of its gears. In battle, you stand behind your formation, not because you're a coward, because if you die, 144 men lose their direction. You receive orders from the Lochagos above, and you translate those orders into movement, into blood, into results. The gap between strategy and execution lives in your hands. A perfect plan poorly executed is just a fancy way to die. You learn logistics, food, water, supply lines, the unromantic truth that armies move on their stomachs, not their courage. At night, you walk the camp, checking sentries, checking morale, checking for the fear that kills men before the enemy does. This is rank 8. The glory fades, the responsibility multiplies, and the decisions get harder. Rank 9, Lochagos. You command a Lochagos, 576 warriors, an entire battalion. In some armies, this would make you a general. In Sparta, you're a cog, a high-ranking cog, but still a cog. You answer directly to the Polemarch, and the Polemarch answers to the king. Your Lochagos is a self-contained killing machine. Infantry, officers, support, everything needed to hold a line or break one. You don't fight anymore. You think. You calculate distances, angles, terrain. You read the battlefield like other men read scrolls. The weight of 500 families sits on your shoulders during every engagement. Your officers look to you for certainty, even when you have none, especially when you have none. You've seen enough battles to know the truth. The difference between victory and massacre is one bad decision made in one bad second. You eat with your men. You train with your men. But at night, you plan alone. Because the burden of command is a solitary disease. This is rank 9. You move armies with your voice. And the silence after battle is the loudest thing you've ever heard. Rank 10 Polemarch. You command a Mora, the largest division of the Spartan army. Thousands of men under a single voice, your voice. The king himself calls you into the war council, sits you at his table, asks your opinion. Because at this rank, your opinion shapes whether Sparta expands or retreats, whether cities stand or burn. You coordinate cavalry, infantry, allies. The entire machine of Spartan warfare bends to your design. Enemy generals know your name. They study your tactics. They fear your reputation before a single spear is thrown. But with reputation comes expectation. And expectation in Sparta means perfection or shame. One defeat doesn't just end your career, it erases your legacy. Spartans don't remember losers. You train for decades to reach this rank. One afternoon can take it all away. This is rank 10. You command the machine, but the machine demands perfection, and perfection doesn't exist. Rank 11 Ephor. You are no longer a soldier. You are the law. 5 Ephors rule Sparta, elected by the assembly, more powerful than the kings themselves. You can put a king on trial, you can exile a general, you can declare war on the Helots with a single vote. Every decision in Sparta passes through you. Military, diplomatic, judicial, everything. You hold office for 1 year. But in that year, you are Sparta. Foreign ambassadors bow to you. Kings negotiate with you. The most powerful warriors in the world ask for your permission. But the power comes with a target on your back. Political enemies watch every move, every alliance, every meal. The other Ephors are not your colleagues. They're your competition. 5 wolves sharing one throne. You went from fighting with a spear to fighting with words. And words in Sparta kill just as effectively. This is rank 11. You don't carry a shield anymore. You carry the fate of the most powerful military state in the ancient world. Rank 12. Spartan King. 2 thrones, 2 bloodlines, 2 kings who share power and share nothing else. You are born into royalty, but in Sparta, royalty doesn't mean luxury. It means obligation. You went through the Agoge, same as every other boy. No special treatment, no soft beds, no mercy. The crown doesn't exempt you from battle. It puts you at the front of it. You lead the army personally, first rank, first to charge, first to die if the gods decide. Leonidas was a king. He died holding a pass with 300 men because that's what Spartan kings do. You sit in the Gerousia, the council of elders, 30 men who decide the fate of nations. But the Ephors can overrule you. The assembly can reject you. In Sparta, even kings kneel to the state. Your co-king watches you constantly. He's not your partner. He's your counterweight, built to limit your power. You eat the same black broth as every soldier. You sleep in the same conditions. You bleed the same blood. A foreign king once tasted the black broth and said, Now I understand why Spartans don't fear death. You have everything a Spartan can have: power, respect, command. But you don't own yourself. Sparta owns you. It always has. Since you were 7, you are the king of the most feared warriors in human history, and you are the most enslaved man in the kingdom.